As promised, I said that I'll be going through the trades that we took this week, just to explain my bias on all these trades, and hopefully you can use the same principles in your own personal trades, and also in your own pairs that you guys are trading. I mean, this week has been fairly great. Markets have been moving quite a lot, so we managed to get most of the market moves. So we'll be covering GBPUSD, Euro, and Aussie dollar in this video. So in total, since last week into the end of this week, we had gotten about over 650 pips, which I think is fairly great. So as you can see in front of you, we had some nice price movement up, dropping, and also going upwards. And yeah, guys, so hopefully you guys also will just use the same principles that I cover in the videos in your own personal trading, because the setups that we've been trading have been setups that have been presented time and time again. Also in the analysis that I post in the Telegram page, every single thing that was happening in the markets was based off of analysis or off of techniques that have been happening time and time again. And my hope is for me to just highlight these out for you in this video, so you'll be able to apply them. So first of all, this is GBPUSD. So let me just remove all of this so I can get straight into the pair. So the first thing we'll start off on the daily time frame. Start on daily time frame. So we're on the daily time frame, and overall GBPUSD has been on a bearish run since the early months of the year. It's around about March. So we made a high, made a low, we made a high, then we made further lows, and then we made minor highs from those ones there. So yeah, the overall direction, when you look at it from the daily, weekly, and monthly perspective, we are in a bearish trend, but within that bearish trend, there's some good bullish moves that we can pick out. So this was around about last week. So let me just jump into H4 just to explain. So we had this trend line that we drew. That was 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. So at this point, price hadn't moved at all. So we hadn't had this price action at these areas here. And I had posted, since we had one hit, and then had a second hit, and then this was our previous swing high before the drop, and if price would go beyond this region, meaning if price goes beyond this region as in upwards, it would invalidate the bearish trend. Yeah, so we had price come back on the trend line, and we had price just tapping that trend line with sort of we had tweezer tops here. We had tweezer tops. Let me just zoom in so you can see properly. So we had tweezer tops, and we also had spinning tops that made up that formation on that trend line, telling us that price in fact is we have some price exhaustion at that area here, and also that area was a significant area of resistance. If you could just look at this area here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 4-hour candles in one area. It's basically telling you that there's a lot of price being resisted in this area. And the interesting thing is that when you look at this area of resistance, you don't see any candle close above that area of resistance. The only thing you see is just spikes. And there was a trade actually that we took around about these regions some time ago, this month, and then I'd said that the area of profit would be right on that trend line. So it played out as is. Alright, so when I saw this sort of behavior at these areas here, because of like we had so much price rejection at that area, we were due for a short setup. So when the short setup had happened, it was just right after market open. So I think I was asleep at the time, but when I woke up, I'd seen the setup here. So there was this swing point here. So price had swing high, swing low, swing low, swing high, swing low, swing high, and then we had prices slowly moving upwards, and they sort of created for me this counter trend line here. So because when that had happened, when the initial drop had happened, I was asleep, and also it was on market open on Monday. So what you want to do on market open, you just always have to wait and see how market opens before you jump into any trade. So what I waited for was a break of this counter trend line here for me to take that entry. But that candle here was one that told me actually that we'll be dropping, because this was a nice 4-hour shooting star. So I was just waiting for a break of that counter trend line, and then surely they did break the trend line, and then my entry was right on the close of that candle right there. My entry was at that region, and my target was based off of this previous support area here. My target was based off of this previous area of support here. So all in all, it was just over 87 pips in target, and then my stop loss was it was a really tight one, because I aimed for around about like 10 pips above that high there, and then once they started moving into profit, I just quickly moved my stops to break even and let my trade run. So that was the short trade on GBPUSD. It was posted Monday morning. So when price came back to these regions here, I was sort of expecting some bullish momentum, because since this area had been a significant area of support. So I was just waiting to see what price does here. So we saw price breaking way below these lows here, and I began to wait to be patient. And then when I started seeing price doing all of this, we had this massive bearish run, and then we started to seeing some price exhaustion by means of this hammer here. So there's one hammer there, then we had a spinning top, then we had another hammer here, and we had another spinning top. So we saw some price exhaustion in this area, and potential reversal was about to happen. So what I'd seen is also this other formation that I've been talking about throughout the videos. It's called the 3-pin formation. It's basically the candles make the shape of the edge of the spear like this. So this was 1, 2, 3. So when I'd seen this at an area of consolidation, because none of these candles closed way below this area here. So all you can see is just spike, 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 spike. And when I'd seen that this was a significant area of resistance, this was an area of support, and we just had a hammer there, we had another hammer, we had a spinning top, So these candles are just signaling reversal. So when I'd seen this 1, 2, 3 pin formation, I jumped into the trade right about here. I was long on this trade, and my target was just by this key level here. So this is a key level, the 1.25 thousand on GBPUSD. So my stop loss was fairly tight in this one. I'd risked in total about just over 35 pips, and then my target just in that key level. So my target was about 90 pips on this trade. So I mean, we've had like some great bullish runs, but this one was like, price was really explosive, because right from there price just exploded all the way, and he came back to tap that area of resistance right on the weekly key level, and just broke it aggressively. And they attempted to come back to this area of resistance, but we saw prices slowly retracing. So we could see GBPUSD actually going higher. They can, if they close right on that trend line here and bounce off of it as support, we could see price going further up into this region, or breaking it and going beyond. Or if they come back, we could see price close right below that key level to just sort of give us a retracement, and then before shooting higher. But I do fancy some more long trades on GBPUSD long term. And then yeah guys, so I really hope that this breakdown on GBPUSD will really help in your own personal trading. So one point that I really just want to explain is this one here. So when I'd seen price do this, when I saw price just give me all this kind of behavior, what I'd drawn was a block like that, right on the edge of the support of this wick here, and I just waited for price like to just come inside this box here, forming the lows for the day. And then what I waited for was a break above and a retest. But what really was the deciding factor for this trade was 1, 2, 3 pin formation, 1, 2, 3 pin formation, and then price exploded upwards there. So the biggest giveaway for this trade was the 3 pin formation on 4 hour at an area of support. That was the big giveaway for this trade here. It was a 3 pin formation at an area of support, and also none of the spikes, none of the candles, none of the bodies of the candles closed below this area here, saying that there's a lot of price reversal. And also we had some nice reversal candlesticks formations. We had a hammer there, we had spinning tops, we had another hammer, and then we had another spinning top. So basically telling us that price is exhausted. And then price went straight away back to that trend line that was tapped before. So right now we could see, like I said, price coming back onto the trend line as support before shooting higher. And then if they go any lower, we could see a slight pullback inside and then a break going above. But long term, like I said earlier, on the daily, weekly and monthly, GBPUSD is on a bearish run, but within that bearish run you have some nice bullish movements. So the total pips for GBPUSD for this week was a total of 103 pips, and then for this other week I think we've gotten over 90 pips, and also for this move here we've gotten some great amount of pips. So thank you so much guys for tuning into this video. Please tune into the second video where I'll be breaking down Euro USD.